Hello, hopefully all of you are doing good. Sorry, I could not post anything in between because I was busy in lot of stuff. Even like lot of changes happened. I moved to a new country, so I could not get time in between to post anything over here. So hopefully from this week onwards, I will be able to post more videos on my channel. Now we will start from where we left off. So if you remember, like we were working on this Plotly deep learning app, right? Now in this particular video, if I just show you like whatever we have done, like we have created a beautiful navigation bar, then we have created some kind of fundamentals where it was showing like how neural network learns, and we implemented the drill down features. A lot of stuff we have done it there, right? Also we created a page called model showcase, right, where for different kinds of model it will show, and one of them is like the ResNet 50, where we have done the image classification by selecting some image, right, and it will show you like what that particular image is and what that particular ResNet 50 classifier will classify it as. Like I just selected that apple.jpg, and then it just tell me like what kind of apple it is, right? So in this video, so the main purpose of building this app is to two things. First thing is to learn Plotly Dash. Second thing is to learn the deep learning concepts as well, right? Now in this particular video, what we will do is we will try to enhance this particular page. If you see, like whenever we are selecting this ResNet 50, right, and from there we are just selecting already like uploaded files from there, and then it was doing it, right? So instead of that, can't we create our own uploader, image uploader, and from there this particular model should classify what kind of image it is, right? So this video will be solely based on that. We will work on a image uploader. We'll create an image uploader and do the similar stuff over here, instead of selecting a some predefined images or pre-uploaded images from the drop down. Okay, so to do that, let me go back to the code base once. So this code is basically in the showcase.py page, right, where whatever we have done is, like if I just do a very brief recap, so we are having so basically it's a page where you can pass the parameter, right? Either you can pass models so that it will show you the list of models, or if you are going a particular model page, so it is basically showing up that corresponding that particular model page details over there, right? Similarly for ResNet 50, if you see it, like currently it is actually creating a drop down with the already uploaded images present over here in the dataset folder, right? And then in the callback we are just using the keras to and this ResNet 50 model to classify that particular image over there, right? Now the intention over here is to now create our own image uploader here. Now there are two ways we can achieve that. If I just go back to Chrome, now one way is under dash core component. So there is a component called dcc.upload. Either you can use that, or there is a community component called dash uploader. Okay, so that also you can use that. Probably we will be using this dash uploader today in this particular video. Probably I will be creating a separate video if required for this dcc.upload, but mainly whenever I create file uploader in dash, I mainly use this dash uploader, because if I just do a comparison between these two, if you see the dash uploader uses the flow.js as the underlying technology, and dcc upload is used like the HTML file basic API over there, right? And the main difference will be over here in terms of file size. So if we use dash uploader, you can use basically you can upload huge size of files over here. But for dcc.upload, as it is like a client side mainly, so it has some kind of limitations as well, and some kinds of performance impact as well if you try to upload very huge volume, huge size of file over there. Okay, now one of the main thing about the Dash uploader is it's server side, so whatever file you will be uploading, it will be storing in the server hard disk there. Okay, and another big difference between these two is dcc.upload is actually encode the file in base64 encoding, so you have to write your own parsing to decode it as well over there. But the DCC, the dash underscore uploader is upload as a file, so you do not need separate parsing logic to parse the file and use that file somewhere. Okay, and it also has a very good progress bar out of the box, so that we can see that one as well. I'll show you how it looks like over there. Okay, now to use this one dash uploader, you need to have this package installed over here. So first thing is I will add this one in our requirement.txt here. Okay, now just for some note, I made couple of changes to this package, to this particular app, to make it compatible with Python 3.11 and certain NumPy changes. Okay, so I have already committed that code in my GitHub page, so you can download it from there. So once I add this requirement.txt, so I can open a new terminal, right, and just install this particular package over here, pip install dash uploader. Here like this. I think I already installed it, so it will say the package is already installed over here. Okay, if you do not have it installed, probably you can install it using this one. So it is already saying requirement is already satisfied. So once we do that, let's go back to its documentation. So how to use it? The main thing is, before using it, you need to call this configure upload of this dash uploader over here. Okay, and it requires a app. So if I just go back to the main documentation over here, okay, so currently we are using 0.6 version. Okay, so if I see the configure upload over here, it requires a dash application instance over here, right? So, and requires a folder which will be act as a root folder for all your uploads. So all the files you will be uploading it over there, it will upload to that particular directory in the server side. Okay, apart from that, there is a concept called upload ID, which I will explain later very soon. So you can use your own upload API and HTTP request handler as well. So it is kind of customizable, but we will, for this video, we will not play around these two guys. We will play around these things over here. Okay, so as it requires a dash application instance, so that's why this particular code, right? So first of all, this configure upload, I have to call it inside my app.py, because here only I have this app over here, right? And I cannot import this particular file into any other file because I'll have the circular redundancy over here, right? So that is fine. So let's first do one thing. Let's copy this line. We will see how to use it. So we are importing this one first of all, and then we need to configure it over here, right? So we need to call this one after the app instances over here. Somewhere over here I will call it. Okay, now here I will be giving the path for the uploaded files. So what I'll do is, in my main app folder where my app.py is there, right? So in the main folder I will just create a new folder over here called uploads. So all my uploaded files will be present over here. Okay, so let's create a variable over here called upload folder root, which will hold the path for this uploads folder over here. Okay, so for this we will use OS package over here, right? So I'll just say os dot path dot join, right? Now what will be the one? So first of all, I will check the current directory name of this particular file. So if I just write os dot path dot directory name of this underscore file underscore, so what it will give me? It will give me the path for the app.py file, right, which is our main app file over here, right? From there we will go to the uploads folder. So then we will be having uploads. So this will work as a path for my uploads folder over here, right? And I will pass this path over here, so that will become my dash uploader configuration. Okay, so that's the main thing, the first thing you have to do whenever you want to use this dash uploader. Now dash uploader, now second thing is we need to create that particular component over here, right? So I will go to my showcase page. Now as we are doing it for that RESTnet 50 page, right, because that is the page we are currently in, correct? If you just see it over here, showcase then RESTnet 50 page. So over here what we will do is we will just remove this drop down as of now, right? So what we'll do is we will create a dash uploader component. So if I just go back to the documentation of dash uploader, so there is a very simple example over here. So like this, du.upload, this is what you have to call it. Okay, we'll say du.upload, then lot of props you can pass it. I'll just copy it as of now. Okay, we'll not need all of it because some of it has default values as well. So I'll just copy this one and let's discuss one by one here. ID, I'll just give a name called RESTnet 50 dash image uploader. Okay, that's a meaningful name of this ID. So this ID is this particular component ID. That's the first thing. Text is like it will create basically a box. Okay, just like the upload box over there, right? So and it will write something in the inside the box. It will write something like this one. Okay, drag and drop here to upload. So you can change it to any meaningful value if you want. Okay, I'm not changing it because it's a normal text. Once the file upload completed, this will be appended with the before the file name uploaded, then the file name. Okay, if you at any point you are disabling this uploader by some callbacks and all, so this is the text it will be displayed when the uploader is disabled. Now in our current use case we do not need that, but still I am keeping it just to show you like this is also possible. Now when the file size is very huge, right, it shows a progress bar. Now there is an option to cancel and pause that file upload as well. So these two things, like the cancel button and the pause button, will basically tell us like whether it will display that cancel or pause button or not. So currently cancel button is true. Let's keep the pause button as true as well. Okay, so when I will show you like a very huge file upload, you will see those two buttons will appear just below the progress bar. Now disable equals to false, that is fine. Now in the file types, we will allow what are the different file types currently we will allow for this particular upload over here. Now as in our data set, all are mostly JPG files, right? So let's start with the JPG and then probably we will modify it according to our need. So this file types actually accepts a list of file names. So I'll just say JPG as of now. So that means it will only allow to upload the JPG files. If you try to upload some other files, it throws an error over there. Okay, so this is the one, and it requires a comma over here as well, and we need to import this du. So I'll just copy this guy from here to here. Okay, if I just go down over there, so we have then, and there are certain styles also you can do. So if I just see its documentation, so there is a props called default.style. It's nothing but a React app behind the scene, right? So you can use this one to style your component as well. So let me put some default.style here. I'll just copy it from here. Okay, it's just a basic CSS style over here. If you can see it, like the width, it will be taking 100%, height 30 pixel, line height, it's just normal CSS style. You can style it whatever way you want it over here. Okay, now with this one, let us first try to see how it looks like. Then probably we will see it. Okay, so if I just go back to this ResNet 50, if you see, like it's already created this particular component, and if you see, once by default it is showing a drag and drop here to upload, and if I click on over here, so it should allow you to create some, upload some file over here. Now before I do that, let me talk about another props over here called upload ID over here. This is important. Now what does this upload.id means? If you see, like this upload.id is basically creates a subfolder, because every time you click over here and upload some files, right? So it will create a subfolder based on the name you are giving it in the upload.id field. Okay, otherwise what will happen, like whatever files you are uploading it from here, it will directly go to the uploads folder, which if you want to reprocess the file again, let's say if you want to make some div which will allow you to download the file or read the file some way, it will be very much problematic for you to understand that, right? So that's why it is always recommended to use a upload_id props to create a subfolder under this uploads folder for each and every time you are uploading some files from there. So that's why I will be using this upload_id field over here. Now to populate it, we can use some kind of unique ID, right? So I can import over here also. If you see the documentation, they have used this UUID, right? So I can do that one as well similarly. Or you can create your own unique way of generating this upload ID and then use it. That is also fine. So let's use uuid.uuid1 to create this particular stuff over here, upload ID over here, right? Now first we will see how it works, then we will see how to modify, because our current callback is based on this drop down value, right? So which we will not be able to use it now, right? We have to work on the uploaded files now to make the prediction, right? Which we will change it later. So let's see how it works. So if I go back over here, select something, let's say I will just upload this apple.jpg file here, right? So it will say, if you see like that particular progress bar was shown very briefly over there because it's a very small size of file, that's why it does not took much time, but it said uploaded apple.jpg over here. If I just go back into this uploads folder, if you see, it has created a folder with the same UUID, whatever it has calculated it, and then under that folder it uploaded this apple.jpg file. Now if I go back over here, click on it again over here, because we are working on the same UUID, the same session, right? So it will not create the similar folder. Basically this upload_id is very much session specific. So if I just upload this banana.jpg, if I just come back over here in the same folder, if you see it basically uploaded the same file. Now if I just go back over here, because we came out from that page, right? So until and unless we are in the same page and using this particular uploader again and again, so it will upload in the under that same UUID folder name, right? So if I just go back to the model showcase now, go to this ResNet 50 and upload this file again. Okay, now if I show you, it should have created another folder over here, if you see it, right? So that is how it works over there. So whatever file you are uploading it, based on the upload ID, it creates separate folders, and inside that folder your files will be automatically uploaded at the server side. Now if you are coming out of the page and going to that page again to upload it, it creates a separate UUID folder over there. That's the way it works over there. Now coming to the second part, where I need to basically read these files, right, and then make the predictions over there. So for that, basically now there are two ways we have to do, but I will explain you why I am doing it currently in this particular way. Now if I just go back to the documentation for Dash Uploader, it exposes a du.callback, if you see it here. Okay, so which requires an instance of du over here. Now the du we have, but for this callback to work, okay, it requires to have this particular configure upload called before it. Now as we have called this configure upload in our app.py, so we won't be able to use this du.callback in our any of the file until unless we are basically importing this app.py in the other files, right, which we won't be able to do it because of the circular import, right? So that's why we will not be using this du.callback as of now. We will still go ahead with our dash.callback, because this does not require this app file to be imported, right? Because from the dash 2 onwards, this is the way we will be using this callback. So I do not want to change my application structure just to use a single component over here. Okay, another solution could be like you can keep this app into some other file, like let's say some main file, and import that main file over here, but it requires changing of the whole design of our app, right? So which we will not be doing it, but we will still use the dash.callback, right, to achieve the similar stuff. I'll show you how you will do it. Now if you carefully see it, the callback previously we have developed it over there, right, on that particular drop down change. So currently you won't be able to use it, this one, so you have to find a way to fire this particular callback. Probably what we'll do is, let's do that one, right? So after this upload, we can just create a button. On button click, we can just fire this particular callback, right? So to create a button, what you can do is, as we are working on bootstrap component, so I'll just go to dash bootstrap component, and then from the components, so there is a component called button. I'll just copy one of it over here. So let's call this guy over here. Okay, let's keep it over here. We'll name it as classify. Okay, and we'll give it an ID, because that's ID will require in our callback, correct? So we will say ResNet 50 image classify button over here, right? So now our callback should be based on this button in clicks, right? In clicks over here. Let's see how this button looks like. So if I just go back over here, once it refreshes, so it should be creating this classify button over here, right? Now as this is taking to full width over here, right? So let me do one thing. Let me do a very, because this is the main div where we are displaying it everything, right? Our nav bar and all these things. So this is the children. So let's give a style for this particular div. Style equals to, it accepts a dictionary. I'll just give a margin over here, margin 10 pixel of our main div, where all these things we are displaying over here, so that it will have some kind of margin, so it looks good. That's it. If you see it now, right? As my nav bar is also like this, probably I need to keep the nav bar outside of it. So what I'll do is here all these things I will just keep it inside a div. Okay, and children equals to this. Now here all these things I will move it over here, apart from my nav bar, all these components over here, right? So this h3, this uploader, this button, and this div over here, I will move it inside this div. Okay, and I will, let's format it a bit, and I will apply this style on the newly created div over here. Okay, so let's do a bit formatting. So this is my second div, which is ending it over here, right? Comma style equals to this. I think this should not apply the style on the nav bar over here. Yeah, now it looks good over here, right? Now let's work on this callback over here. So on the button click, so it should not be image name. So previously it was we are selecting from the drop down, that's why it was giving us the image name over there. Now it's just the button click. I'll just give an n over here, in clicks. Okay, so what we were doing it over there in this callback, basically when I selected, if I just see the select code, previously we have it, right? The value of it is actually the whole image path. If you see it, like we were dynamically calculating it, right? So that's why in the Keras it was just able to load that image and do this particular predictions over there, right? So now we are using a uploader which uploads the file into our uploads folder, correct? So if some way, as I said, like we won't be able to use that du callback, we'll be using our dash callback only. So if some way I can calculate or compute the image path over here, then I can easily pass this image path over there, and it can predict it, right? So that means to calculate the image path, so let's say image, first of all, root path. Let's create a variable over here. I'll say OS, so I need to import OS. If I have not done that, I already have it. Okay, so os dot path dot join. Okay, so what we'll be doing it, so we are currently in showcase.py. So let's have the current file, this showcase.py file path. So as we have done it over here, similar way, right? So this will give me the path for the showcase.py file. Then I have to go one up, right? So that means I will be doing dot over here. Then once we are done, then we are going to uploads folder. So this is the image root path. Now once we are in that path, we need to know the current upload ID over here, right? to go inside that corresponding ID and fetch those images currently we have uploaded it to predict it, right? That is what we wanted to do it. So how to know that? Because we have used a upload ID as UUID here, so we cannot access it, because if I just give this, if I just call this UUID1 again, it will create another UUID which will never match with this UUIDs it has generated when it has basically uploaded the files, right? So that's why what we will do is we will create a variable over here, just like we have done it for this image dataset home and all, right? We will say upload ID. So we'll always work with this particular upload ID over here, and we will pass this upload ID here as well. We will pass the same upload ID here as well, right? So this is the path. So we are basically going to a corresponding upload ID folder. Then what we'll do is we will list down all the different files under that particular folder and then do the predictions, correct? Now one thing we have to remember is this upload ID is type of UUID, so it won't be able to join it with the strings, right? So you have to make it as string over here. That is another thing you have to remember. Now if I just do something like this for file in os.list directory, correct? So this is this image root path is nothing but a directory over here. So if I just list this particular directory, okay, so it will give me all the different files present in that particular directory. Then I will do something like this one over here, right? So I will be basically looping through all the files and then do the prediction. Now load image, it will be file, right? Now it requires the full image path over here. So let's compute that one as well. Image path, it will be similar, os.path.join, right? What I'll join, I'll go to root path, and then I will take the file over here, right? I'll just update it as an image name only, so that we can just reuse this code whatever we have previously built it. Okay, so that's my image, which will basically having a single file from this upload ID folder, right? Then it do the prediction and it created this prediction dict. And now previously it was single file we were selecting from the drop down, and that's why we have this particular return statement over there. But now we can have multiple files in that folder, right? So that means we need to create multiple predictions rows over there, right? So how you will do it? Very easy. Basically, let's have a list called returned div over here, a very simple list. We'll just append to this list over there, this whole div, whatever div we have, right? So what we are displaying it, we are displaying the image we have selected, and then a particular dash table which will show the prediction values over there, right? So I'll write return div dot append this whole guy over here. Okay, so this one, and at outside of the loop I will just return this return div, return this guy over here. So if everything goes fine, ideally we should be able to upload some images, and then it can show me the prediction over here as well upon clicking on this classify button. So if I just do that, so let's upload first this apple.jpg, then upload another file called banana.jpg, right? If you see, I can upload multiple files, and if I just click on classify, so ideally it should be creating two different rows over here, right, with their corresponding predictions over there, and it should also display the uploaded image as well over here. And as expected, if you see, first we uploaded the apple, so it displayed that image, then displayed the prediction table, then the banana, display the image and display the prediction table. So it can work with now any number of files over here, right? Whatever files you will be uploading it over there. So it basically, for the current upload, it is taking that UUID, right, and then going to that corresponding folder and then doing this particular prediction over here, right? If I just upload another file now, let's say this guy, right? So it should show now, because I am in the same page, I have not moved back to some other page over there, right? So it should show me the 3 pages over here as well if I just click on the classify. So if you see it, as expected, it gives me 3 rows now with the 3 different values over here, right? These predictions and all, if you see, currently it is understanding this as a orange. So probably we will dig more into it, like how this particular ResNet works and other stuff. That's more on the deep learning page. Today I am just concentrating on these changes related to the Dash application. So let's concentrate on that. But at least we are able to make a very good uploader, right? And then we are able to upload some images and do the predictions over there behind the scene, right? Now let me show you a couple of things as well. If you see, currently I am uploading it, right? So I am selecting apple. So there, if I select control another image, I am able to select only one image at a time, right? So if I just go back to its documentation for this Dash uploader, right? So there is a prop called max files. You can use this one to change its behavior. So if I just see it here after the upload ID, if I just say max files equals to 5, okay, let's save it. Now you will see how its behavior changes. Now app has been deployed. So if I just go there now if I just see multiple images using control, I can do that. If you see, that's the use of the max files over there, right? Now if I just go back to the documentation again, so it's saying this is an experimental feature, so you need to keep this max file reasonably small number, okay? And if you have many number of files, probably you can create a zip file, then keep max file equals to 1, and inside the zip file you can upload multiple images over there, okay? And it has one limitations on resumable.js as well in the Chrome, so probably you need to keep in mind that one as well, okay? So this is the max file. Now let me show you how it looks like when I will upload a video, so that we can see that progress bar over here. Now to do that one, I need to allow a video upload. So in my file types, if I just add MP4 over here, now I will be upload an MP4 file over here as well. So let me upload an MP4 file. If you see now in this filter section, it added that MP4 as well over here, right? So if I just upload this one here, now you can see the progress bar and this cancel and pause button over here as well, okay? So this is how it will looks like for files which are bigger in size over here as well, okay? And it will be able to handle it very smoothly over here. So to recap, what we have done it here is we have make it better in the ResNet 50 image classification, where you are selecting from a very limited files to a file uploader, right? We use the Dash uploader to build a file uploader. Then on this button click, we are basically classifying all the images we have uploaded just now there, right? Now in the next video, probably we will try to create a file downloader as well. and see whatever file we uploaded just now. Probably it would be better if we have a link to download those files as well, just to see it, like what are the files we have uploaded there as well. So that one probably we will discuss it in the next video. So hopefully this video was helpful. See you in the next video.